to the best morning show on the globe. It's Bradley and Emery in the morning, y'all. LeBron or Jordan, either one when I'm performing. Crossover, buzzer beater and I'm scoring. Bradham and Emery in the morning. Every play they on it. Every day I'm balling. Who's the coach? Who's the GOAT? Like Brady and Belichick, best show on the globe. And they embellish it. Y'all paying Ziffy. I'm Ken Griffey or maybe Mahomes. I stay in the zone, whether man to man or play in the zone. They can't stop me. Mayweather boxing. Curry with the shot, man. We just the best to be. Can we have our SB, please? This was meant to be. Every morning with Bradham and Emery.
Yes, sir. You know the vibes. Brian Emery in the morning. Marcus Brown, Justin Emery.
Yo.
So today is December 15th.
Yes.
And first off, I want to pat us on the back because I feel like we've done a great job navigating these Ben Simmons waters, where I feel like we've given the people what they need to hear, but I don't feel like we've oversaturated you guys with Ben Simmons. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You are correct, and I am never a person not to turn down patting myself on the back.
Yeah, I feel like for the past couple months, if we wanted to, we could have had a Ben Simmons conversation every day if we wanted to.
We could have beat this into everybody's heads day after day after day after day after day after day after day if we wanted to.
Correct. I didn't want to do that. I know you didn't want to do that. We did talk about him a little bit because it was necessary at certain points. And we're back to one of those days. Today is a benchmark day in the NBA, December 15th. It's when you really start to hear trade conversations heat up. You have guys who sign new contracts who are now eligible to be traded. So you're hearing the Ben Simmons stuff ramp up again. So, listen, and at the end of the day, I still don't believe he's going to be moved now. I don't think, even though things are being ramped up, I still think it's still a wait and see game. I don't expect anything to happen. There's some people that are expecting things to happen the next couple days. Again, that's why we're having this conversation. I don't see that yet, but I thought it would be fun today because this is, a ramped up conversation now. It'll be fun to go through the list of teams now that he's being linked to and kind of pick their rosters and see who would make sense ending up here. Now, according to NBA Central, this came out within the past couple of days. There's now interest from the Knicks, the Lakers, Timberwolves, Trailblazers, Kings, Pacers, and Cavaliers. Those are the main teams that are interested right now in Ben Simmons. So let's start with the Knicks. Okay, the Knicks, a short drive, two-hour drive down the highway. What from their roster makes sense? Now, you look like they're depleted now because they're and we'll get into this too. The COVID situation taking place not just in the NBA in all leagues, but
and I got some very strong opinions about Adam Silver in regards to that.
Yeah, we'll get into that. So RJ Barrett's out right now, and they're missing a couple people. Kemba Walker has been removed from the rotation.
I saw that a couple, maybe like 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, and I didn't like going into the season.
Is Tim still the coach there?
Yes,
okay.
We had some weird, weird movements. Again, I've talked about it, and Russell Westbrook has played well as of late. I still don't think he's a true fit with LeBron James.
No,
and I feel the same way about Kemba Walker going to New York because anybody who knows anything about Tom Thibodeau is a defensive-minded coach.
Yeah.
And if you can't play defense, he has no use for you. And Kemba Walker is allergic to defense. It's not what he does. Kemba Walker is a volume scorer. And that's pretty much his contribution to basketball. It's his scoring ability. So I was really confused why, besides the hometown story of Kemba Walker coming back home, why the Knicks would even go after him in the first place. I didn't think he was a good fit there based on what Tom Thibodeau believes in. So I'm not surprised. I am surprised, but I'm not surprised in a sense where Kemba Walker is he's a marquee name of the product, and for him to be benched is kind of like whoa. But if you think about it, it makes sense because of who Tom Thibodeau is. So I look at the Knicks roster, and I don't know about you. There's nothing where there I desire.
No.
Me,
And I don't want to trade him to a team that you're going to play him 6 times a year anyway.
Right. Well, I mean, do you really fear facing Ben Simmons? Like, is he the type of, like, because at the end of the day, like, he's going to be scared to death to come to Wells Fargo Center 3 times a year, 2 times a year. He doesn't want to do that.
Yeah, but revenge and spite is a powerful motivator.
It is, but look at all that we know about Ben Simmons.
I agree.
I don't know that he's the type of guy that's motivated by things like that.
I don't know. I mean, but either way, I'm unimpressed with their roster, regardless.
I mean, you got RJ Barrett, but I would doubt they would move him.
They're not going to move him.
Julius Randle's taking a step back big time.
And they're not going to where is he going to fit in this team anyway?
He doesn't. And he needs to
Julius Randle is just like having Tobias Harris. They're the same person.
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, Julius Randle improved. I think that big jump that Julius Randle made last year, and he did. He made a huge jump last year, but he's not. He doesn't fit. Which you gotta think about Joel Embiid. He doesn't fit. I think RJ Barrett might be a nice fit, but he's a little young, and he's not the superstar that you want back for a team ready to run right now.
Yeah.
And other than that, I mean, I don't really know anything else in the roster that I would really like. Emmanuel Quigley, no.
Listen, if you don't know the roster, then that means you don't want him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Emmanuel Quigley, no. I mean, you've had Alec Burke, no. Like that, there's nothing the Knicks can trade me that I'm like, I'm in. All right, so now
team number 2, who do we got?
Because it gets interesting now because the Lakers have now entered the chat. They were not really mentioned and linked to him for a while. And while I think pairing LeBron with Ben and AD would be a good fit. Again, who from that roster do you want? Because they're not giving you AD. They're obviously not giving you LeBron. I don't want any parts of Russell Westbrook.
Westbrook and Embiid cannot be on the same team.
I love Russell Westbrook, but we need shooting, and we need knockdown shooters for Embiid in the ball screen. And Westbrook, that's not who he is.
Nope.
And plus also, I mean, Russell Westbrook, triple double aside, he's a turnover machine, which drives me crazy. I mean, I love watching Russell Westbrook play basketball, but he is an absolute turnover machine, and I couldn't deal with that on a regular basis. He doesn't fit to me. So again, you're not getting a superstar on that roster either. You're not, because the superstars that they do have, they're not going to give you. And like, obviously, you're not taking an Avery Bradley. You're not taking Dwight Howard back. You're not taking any of the role players they have, because that's not what this is about. Daryl Morey strictly said he's put himself kind of in a box saying, "Listen, I only want a superstar back. If I'm not getting a superstar back, we have nothing to talk about." So I look at that roster too. Even though I think Ben would be a good fit out there, I don't know what they could give you back in return to satisfy you, unless you're going a 3-team deal. But here's the deal: with a 3-team deal, there's still the same problem here with both of these teams. Who do they have to give to another team? Maybe maybe with the Knicks you get Oklahoma City involved and send like RJ Barrett there, and then Shea Alexander ends up here, maybe. But like the Lakers, I don't know.
Also, just because we don't want Westbrook doesn't mean another team won't take Westbrook.
It's a good point. But who? But yeah. I mean, I guess you got to find the partner to match up with that. We'll see. Now, here's one that's interesting, and I honestly feel like this would be a good suitor for the Sixers as Timberwolves, because I would take D'Angelo Russell. I think Russell would be a good fit here and a good fit with what the Sixers are doing right now. I think Russell is someone that I would be satisfied with. It seems to me that Daryl Morey's not, because I feel like this has already been discussed, but he's not into it. He's not into it because they're not giving you Cat, obviously, and like
I don't
Carl,
want Cat anyway.
yeah, I mean Carl Anthony Towns. I don't think that works anyway. But like they're not giving you Anthony Edwards.
Let me
So
ask you,
it's,
would you rather have Cat or DeAndre Drummond? Now, I know. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand Cat's the better player, but Cat's a starter. He's not going to play over Embiid, and he's not going to play enough minutes to warrant paying him what you got to pay him for that position. Because you can't play Cat and Embiid at the same time. That is just a recipe for disaster.
well, what you would do is, I mean, I don't want to do this, but what you would do is Cat would just big strictly. You would get him out of the lane because he can play. He can play on the in the perimeter, but I don't want him out there. Like you're wasting your time having him out there be out there the entire game. When beating it for it doesn't make sense.
Like you're putting too much money into the center position if you bring them both together.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'd much rather have Andre
Russell,
Drummond. I'd much rather have Andre Drummond who fits the role better than Cat.
Yeah, D'Angelo Russell to me is I would be okay with that. Like I would be in on D'Angelo Russell because he's a guy. Listen, I'm not worried like the Iggy Azalea, Nick
Swaggy P,
Swaggy P. I'm not worried about that.
Snapchat.
That I feel like it was a poor decision, obviously by D'Angelo Russell, but I feel like he learned his lesson. It was years ago removed. He could play, and like he's become a punchline because of that. But the guy can play basketball.
Yeah,
he was here a couple weeks ago, and you saw what he did as a closer at the end of that game. Like he can close ball games, which
man can hoop. There's no doubt about it. Nobody's taking that away.
I know Embiid is taking on that role of being a closer, and like Embiid has hit big shots. Don't get me wrong, but having a guard that can do those things is invaluable. They need that. They need a guard to work with Embiid in the ball screen late in games.
High school teammates pairing back together again.
Yeah. I feel like that would be the best case there. So far out of these three teams, Knicks, Lakers, Timberwolves, that's my best option so far is D'Angelo Russell.
Plus, you send Ben Simmons to somewhere that he doesn't want to be.
Correct.
Send him to NBA Siberia.
Now, here's where it gets even more interesting, where I don't know what this team could offer, because now, especially with the news coming out in the past week or so, the Trailblazers. So the Trailblazers they want to be at the party, but you're not bringing any good dishes to the party.
Yeah.
Like, what are you bringing over here?
It's an odd situation.
Yeah, because the CJ McCollum thing is now dead with his injury.
Yes.
You don't want to trade Dame.
Nope.
Dame has basically said he's going to come here.
Yep.
And doesn't really want to be traded anyway.
Yep.
According to Stephen A. Smith, he would consider going to the Knicks, but we don't know that. He didn't come out and said that. He wants to stay and work things out there. And then obviously you're not taking Nurkic. You're not.
This is all culminated to the fact that they have a brand new GM as well.
Right. Anthony Simons is a nice player, and I would take him in a package deal, but I wouldn't take him as the lead of the package.
No.
So I don't even know why they're being mentioned, because they don't really have anything to trade. Like, what are we taking? Robert Covington back?
No, I hope not.
They don't really have anything either. So
I just blew a blood vessel thinking about that right there with Robert Covington.
So I kind of just out of these four teams, I kind of just cross them out.
Yeah,
because they don't have anything. They can't do anything right now. Now here's another team that has pieces, but I don't think they want to trade those pieces. The Sacramento Kings, because I would take De'Aaron Fox in a minute. Like let's go. Give me De'Aaron. I would even take Halliburton in a minute. Buddy Hield, I don't know that that's enough.
It's not enough. He's too much of a specialist.
Yeah, I would take him, but it has to be a package. I'm getting someone else. But like Halliburton.
Now, let me ask you this. So would you take Fox straight up for Simmons?
Yeah. Yes.
Halliburton straight up for Simmons?
Mm-hmm.
Would you take Hield and a bunch of firsts with no other player? Assuming Sacramento's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I would do that.
What was it? What if it was Hield and 2 firsts?
Yes, I would do that.
Unprotected.
Yes, I would do that.
So as long as Hield is coming with something else. It doesn't necessarily have to be a player.
No, and I believe Buddy Hield fits the system. Like he fits what they're
I
doing.
mean, we need a 3-baller. That's what we need. We need a 3-baller.
You see how well, like Joel Embiid works best with shooters. Obviously, the JJ Redick, he was paired nice with him. Seth Curry, the way they're figuring it out and working well together. You add another one of those guys, that would be good. That would be great for the Sixers offense. So Buddy Hield does fit here. It's just I need more than that if I'm trading Ben Simmons to you guys. But I don't know. But the thing is, I don't know how it works with Ben Simmons, De'Aaron Fox though out there. But that's something they have to figure out.
Hold on, let me real quick before we go any further. Let me just. Do you happen to know what year Buddy Hield came into the league off the top of your head?
I want to say 18.
Okay, let's see. Oh, they actually would have to give you somebody else. The Hield and Simmons, their salaries don't match up close enough.
Yeah, I would take Hield and another role player.
I mean, they'd have to still owe you $12 million worth of payroll.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Checking the contracts for the I mean, I don't foresee them doing this, but numbers wise, Halliburton and Hield work out. I don't see them giving you both of them, but from a salary cap and numbers and making all of that work, that's the package that works from them. Not making so much money.
I think what these teams are failing to understand and realize is that, like, if we're giving you something, we are not getting duped in this.
No.
And this is where, like, I love what Daryl Morey is doing in a way because, you know, I've talked about this before in the show. Whenever you trade a star, it never usually works out in your favor.
No.
You never get the proper return for a star typically. And in the city, we've seen this happen. I go back to the Charles Barkley trade.
Yep.
You got Tim Perry, Jeff Hornacek. Come on. For Charles Barkley, at the time, Charles Barkley, who went on to have his best season after left, became an MVP of the NBA. And then, you know, the Allen Iverson trade. What did you get? What did you get out of that? You know, like when you trade a superstar, typically you don't get everything you want in return, and that's what Daryl Morey is trying to do. Is he's trying to get an equal return for Ben Simmons. So these teams just need to come to the realization that this will not happen unless you're going to give us equal value for what we see Ben Simmons as. Now, I think as we move on to the next team, as you broke yesterday, from a source, some of this he needs to calm down a little bit. Because you look at, you know, the next team is the Pacers, and Monday, we went over those packages with you guys.
Yep.
And, you know, I mean, those are pretty good packages. I mean, they were. I mean, you can't. I mean, I can't sneeze on any of those packages. So, if you want to hear those packages, go back and listen to Monday's show if you didn't get a chance to listen. But the Pacers are still there. They probably, I would venture to say, out of the Knicks, Lakers, Timberwolves, Trailblazers, Kings, probably have the most interest thus far.
Yeah.
Of really, really wanting him there. And if you think about it, you think about Indiana basketball, Ben Simmons fits that culture perfectly.
How funny is that
Carson
and Ben ended up in the same city? Potentially.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. That would be very funny. Yes.
The only thing is that Carson doesn't mind it and Ben hates it.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, the next team also pretty interesting. It's Cleveland Cavaliers. They're the last team actually mentioned upon these teams, and they're interesting to me because they're actually turning a corner that no one saw them turning this year. They're actually a pretty good basketball team right now. So now for them comes the question is, do you really want to break this up? You know, Sexton's coming to his own, Garland's coming to his own. They're playing really good defense. Jared Allen may be an all-star. They're playing really good basketball. So I don't know, like if I'm them, like, are you ready to break up this young core? Because sometimes sometimes the tendency in sports, we have a tendency to break up young cores way too soon. And I think
Okay,
again, I
see.
think Cleveland kind of thought they were in no man's land to the point where there's whispers that LeBron could possibly return to Cleveland when his contract with Lakers are up for one last run. That's how well they've turned the corner and figured this out. Which is, when after LeBron left, he left that franchise in shambles. I thought it was going to take a good 5 to 7 years for anything to materialize, but they're playing good. They're playing good basketball. And again, they're a really good defensive team, and they got guys emerging. So if you're trading Ben Simmons there, the conversation starts and ends with Sexton and Garland. There's nothing to talk about. I don't want anything else. You don't have anything else I want. Nothing else to talk about. So I don't know why you would trade those guys right now, playing as well as they are. It doesn't make sense to me. So, this is a conversation I think Cleveland may have had over the summer, but now for them to be invested in Ben Simmons, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not breaking that up.
Yeah.
Go back to OKC. Look at Harden, Durant, Westbrook. You should have won. Who was the Ibaka? You should have won a chip there. You. But what it is you screwed it up and moved Harden too quickly.
Yeah, and Harden would have came. He said he would have came back. Like
Yeah.
They wouldn't pay him, and they should have paid him. And I mean, if Harden stays, you probably don't lose Durant.
No.
Because they win. They beat that Warriors team. They go to the finals. They beat the Cavs, and they stick around for a while. But revisionist history, I guess. But that's kind of the latest.
We instantly just got some new topics for Big Perk. Who was there?
Yeah.
Oh man, add those to the list.
Yes, absolutely. But that's kind of the update of where we stand right now with Ben Simmons. Again, listen, if you ask me, I still say summertime. That's when this gets done. I think this is going to go on
the whole season.
I don't think he plays this year now, even though beginning last month, I thought there was a chance he would play. Now I don't see it. I think that
does this count as a year on his contract or no?
Yeah.
Oh, it does? Okay. I wasn't sure if it counted for a year or not because he didn't play. He didn't actually play.
This will count. I don't even know. Like you said, I guess they're not finding him now.
If they were still finding him, there would be way more smoke coming out of the Clutch camp than there is.
I guess. This situation. It's one of those things.
None of it makes sense.
Right. It's gaining more life now again because December 15th, and that's why we had talked about it because today is an important day. But until something of note happens, you probably won't hear us being talking a lot about Ben Simmons over the next couple months because there's going to be nothing really to talk about. So this was your Ben Simmons update for the month, and we're gonna move on because last night history was made at MSG.
Yes.
Stephen Wardell Curry breaks the all-time three-point record, 2,974 total three-pointers. He breaks Ray Allen's record. Ray Allen's held it since 2011. Before him, Reggie Miller had it from... Reggie Miller really is when the record became significant because Reggie Miller was the first superstar to have the record. Before him, it was a bunch of, I'm not going to say journeymen, but, Dale Ellis, Michael Adams, those type of guys they weren't superstars. They were good players.
I don't even know who they are.
Good players in the NBA, not superstars. But Reggie Miller was the first superstar to hold the record. So when it was funny, he said on the telecast last night when he broke the record, he couldn't even remember where he did it or how it happened because there was no fanfare at all. No one really cared because 3-point shooting in 1998 wasn't nearly the big deal it is in 2021. And in 98 when he broke the record, he like I said, he couldn't remember. He actually broke against the Bulls in like a late April game, and it was just like he broke the record. Now in 2011, when Ray Allen broke the record in Boston, it became a big deal. And, that was celebrated a lot more than Reggie's was. But last night was unlike almost anything I've seen in sports. It was like, first of all, it was cool because I've said this before. It's so good that the Knicks are relevant again because Madison Square Garden is just a magical place for basketball. It is truly the mecca of basketball. And the atmosphere that arena had last night was unbelievable. It was so cool. I mean, it took Steph Curry, it took him like about 5 minutes to break the record. He hit his first three, missed his second one, and then he did it on the third one on a ridiculous, typical, this is not even a great shot, 3-pointer from Steph Curry. Like, because that's what he's done, is he's taken shots that your coach would have killed you for and made them routine. And now it was the one he hit the 3 for to break the record was one of those shots. So, it was congratulations to him, obviously. It was awesome to watch it and watch history. Love watching history. Love watching great players be great. And, it's before I get into the main topic of this conversation, I find I don't like the fact that you got guys like Steph Curry and Tom Brady more than Steph Curry, but these guys who people confuse the fact that they're so successful now and are such winners now that these aren't two of the greatest underdog stories in the history of sports. Steph Curry was a guy that had one Power 5 offer coming out of high school. He went to Davidson, and as well as he played in Davidson, no one projected him to be the winner and as successful and the game changer that he has become. Tom Brady, the same thing. Tom Brady is a guy that had, as a senior, had to fight for his position at Michigan to be the starting quarterback of the team. He was going back and forth with Drew Henson. And, going into the NFL, he's another guy that no one thought could do the things that he has done. These are underdog stories. People confuse the fact that when people start winning, that it still can't be an underdog story. These are two of the biggest underdog stories in the history of sports. They just are. So, I love seeing stuff like that. I love guys who prove people wrong. And Steph Curry is one of those guys who prove people wrong. But it got me thinking a little bit, and I don't want to be that guy because this is not just my thoughts. It was inspired by a topic in First Take. Because see, with me, Justin, when I'm inspired by something else, I give props to what I'm inspired by. I don't just sit here and just say every idea that I've ever had is my idea. Some people do that. That's not me. I don't do that. I give props when I have inspired by thought, because you can be inspired by a thought. Something wrong with that. And they were
give props and then I take the idea.
Right.
I do both.
They were tosses around on First Take yesterday about Steph Curry's legacy matched up with LeBron's legacy and who has the bigger legacy. This is interesting for me because, I feel, and I said this to you, we talked about LeBron a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm.
I feel LeBron gets disrespected so much. I don't want this to be disrespectful because we can have this conversation and it doesn't have to be disrespectful. LeBron James is obviously legendary. And while I talk about, it's so polar opposite with him and Steph Curry because LeBron was projected to be the guy from the first time we saw him. Since he's been on Sports Illustrated at the age of 16. He was projected to be what he's become and has, in my opinion, exceeded expectations. Who would have expected this, even if you have a cover Sports Illustrated saying the next one, the great one, whatever you want to call it. This was not something I think you could...
I think it was the chosen one.
Chosen one, there you go. This is not something that people could predict, that he would have a career like this and the impact he's had on the court and off the court. But it is interesting to think about these two, and I'm going to shift to Steph Curry now because Steph Curry has changed the game of basketball unlike few have. Steph Curry is on a short list of the most influential basketball players to ever come, influential and important basketball players to ever come. LeBron James didn't do that, but the reason why LeBron James didn't do that is because LeBron James is a freak. That's why. I can never look at my kid and say, I want you to play basketball like LeBron James. It's impossible.
You can't do it.
Genetic freak. Genetically superior than pretty much anyone we've ever seen play sports.
I've said many times, the top 2 people that won the genetic lottery is LeBron James and Calvin Johnson.
Right. And also, too, LeBron understands how to take care of his body better than almost any athlete on the planet.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think, like, isn't it millions he puts into it?
Yep. His investment in his body is almost unlike anything we've ever seen.
And that's why he almost won MVP in his 18th season.
Right. It's very different. And listen, he's put up MVP numbers this year too. Yeah. It's very different, their trajectories and tracks. And, you know, Steph Curry's on the list with me with influential and important with Jordan, with Iverson. He's on that type of list because you've got, and like I can attest to this coaching basketball now, is that I'm seeing kids like try to pull up from the logo. Like that's become sexy now. The 3-pointer has become sexy. The 3-pointer has never, being a shooter and being a good shooter, it's a great quality, obviously, and you know, it's taken seriously, but it's never been sexy until Steph Curry came along. Steph Curry has made shooting sexy. That's a hard thing to do. What was sexy before shooting? It was the dribble drive. It was the dunk. It was the spectacular reverse layups. It was all of that kind of stuff. Jump shooting has never been sexy. We've had incredible jump shooters in the history of this game. No one has been a bigger hero to jump shooting than Steph Curry has been. And, you know, that's become, like, you look at guys, the way they play the game, and the way the game has changed. Reggie Miller said back in 1998, there was about 5 attempts of threes per game. 5 per game. 5. That number has quadrupled since then. We're up to about 20, 25 attempts a game. The Utah Jazz sometimes will get up in the 30s. Think about that. That impact is incredible. So I look at these two, and you know, it's. By the way, you look at their resumes. Let's get this out of the way, because again, I don't want to be disrespectful. Let's look at their resumes. LeBron James has the better resume. Let's not get it twisted. This is not a comparison of who's the better player. It's not what this is. I am not at any point. I'm not going to sit here at any point and say Steph Curry's a better player than LeBron James. That's flat stupid. I'm not an idiot. Would never say that. There's a legacy conversation, not a who's a better player conversation. Because in every statistical category, LeBron has Steph. Every category. Doesn't matter what it is, got him.
Except obviously threes.
Obviously, right. Except the obvious one. But LeBron's had more MVPs. You know, LeBron's had more All-NBAs. LeBron had
more games,
more rings, all that stuff. Now, obviously, he had a 8-year head start, but that's why we can't compare them as far as player-wise. It's silly to compare that. So, but a legacy conversation, we can have that talk because their legacies, while very different how they got here, huge legacies. So who has a better one? King James or Chef Curry? Whose legacy is better?
I still have to go LeBron. But, I mean, we're talking 2 of the top 5, in my opinion. And probably closer to 2 of the top 4, not really 2 of the top 5. But I'm still going LeBron. Because while Steph is a legacy player, and he's a Pantheon player, he is further down the list in the Pantheon than LeBron to me. LeBron, arguably the best passer ever. arguably during his time in Miami, one of the best on-ball defenders ever. One of, if not the best basketball IQ ever.
I would say the best.
You'd say the best?
I would give him number one. Yeah.
They throw the term around a lot, but LeBron is literally a coach on the court. Now, I don't want to sit here and again, like you said, this sounds like I'm bashing Steph Curry when I'm not. I'm just saying the obvious about LeBron. 6'8", 260, plays no human should be that big, move that fast, and be that strong, and be that good at something. And when it comes down to it head-to-head, LeBron would usually eat up Steph. So LeBron is the better player, and I believe he has the better legacy. But like I said, we're talking about 2 of the top 4 to 5 legacies ever. We're really just splitting hairs, but I still give it to the slight edge to LeBron. And it's because it's the underdog story is great. Everybody loves the underdog story. But the LeBron thing is that he grew up on the cover of Sports Illustrated square in the social media era. He came out of high school and he could have had a Facebook coming out of high school.
Right.
Whereas Steph went to Davidson. What was he there for 3 years, I think?
Yeah. I don't think
he was all there all 4.
I don't think so either.
So yeah, he was there for 3. And then LeBron comes in and exceeds those expectations.
Day one.
So I have to still give it to LeBron when it's all culmination. But again, I mean, if we're grading these out on a scale of 1 to 10, we're talking the difference between like a 9.7 and a 9.5. These are razor thin margins that we're talking about. But I still put the slight edge for LeBron.
And I can't argue with that. But, I go the other way because I look at myself, what would I rather be? Who would I rather be? And this is, I guess, just who I like the idea that you have a guy that you can say single-handedly has changed basketball forever.
Or do you want to have the ultimate Swiss Army knife of all time in the history of the NBA?
Yeah, I want to change the game forever. I want that. That to me is incredible. You have a guy that has changed the way people play basketball forever. And guys
you can't dispute that. That's an absolute fact. You can't dispute that.
This is not an analytics thing. Now all of a sudden, yeah, of course, if you analyze it, 3 is more than 2, of course. But the idea that you could be this great at a particular skill and like watching Steph Curry play basketball, and this is not like LeBron still because of his age and the things he's doing now. This falls from him too. But watching Steph Curry play basketball, I'm still amazed by the shots that he takes and makes. It's amazing watching him shoot a basketball. It doesn't even. It's still. This is his 10th year in the league. It still doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And
he's been in the league longer than that, hasn't he?
It was 2011 he came in?
I thought he came in before. I thought he came in 2009.
Maybe it was 2009. Maybe you're right. 12 years. Yeah, that makes sense. Because you're probably right. 2009.
Maybe,
you're right.
I'll pull it up real quick. It's all good. Yeah, 2009. First round, 7th overall.
So Ray Allen, who had 2,973 threes, it took him 1,300 games to get there. Steph Curry did it in 789.
I mean, he's going to shatter that record.
Yeah, he's gonna hit 4,000 probably, and this is gonna be one of those records like Maris's home runs, like Hank's home runs.
I was just about to ask you.
Yeah, this will be here for a while.
I was about to say, is there anybody that you think currently playing that will one day hold that record? Player currently playing.
No, because Steph Curry is the only player in NBA history to hit over 400 threes. He's done it twice. And he's on pace this year for 440. So I would say Steph Curry is 33 now.
Is that right? I believe he just turned 34.
So he has about probably
Yeah. Oh no, he's about to turn 34.
he has probably about 3 more years of peak Steph Curry where he can get over 400, and then he could probably play another 2 to 3 years just being a spot up shooter somewhere. Just literally just him just spotting up and shooting. So
Like Ray Allen on the Heat.
yeah, you're talking probably about 1,300 more threes he's gonna make in his career, and I could be underselling it. So you're looking at 4,200, like somewhere in the 4,200, 4,300 club. That's not going to be touched for a very long time. We might not even be here when that gets touched, because the idea of a guy, not only is Steph Curry a volume shooter, he's the most accurate shooter we've ever seen. So it's a double whammy because he's getting his attempts. So Ray Allen averaged 5 attempts per game. Let me get back here. Yeah, he averaged 5.7 attempts per game, and Steph's averaging 8 per game.
Let me ask you this real quick.
That's 43% for his career.
So give me a number that you think Steph will retire with.
One more.
Okay.
Steph Curry, Ray Allen only had 1 season with 250 plus threes. Steph already has 7.
Yeah.
So what number? I would think.
Just give me the number for the sake of this argument. Give me the number you think he stops. You think he'll end with.
I think 4,300 in that neighborhood.
Okay. Let me give you my only guess at who could break this.
Okay.
And this is based off of age, how many he has so far, etc. Trae Young. He is currently sitting at 573, and he just turned 23 years old.
So he's been in the league 2 years?
Yes.
Okay. So every 2 years he gets 573. About 15 years. Yeah, I mean
that also includes however much of this season as well. Like that's a current to this point in his career.
Yeah, I mean I guess it's just like, it's hard to project this because like you can't factor in injuries. You can't factor in, just falling off a cliff. Like that's what makes this so special is that he's been able, and like you have like obviously coaches are game planning for him.
Have to be.
Like, Tom Thibodeau is one of the greatest defensive minds we've ever seen, and preaches. You think he wanted Steph Curry hitting 5 threes last night? Of course not. But you can't do anything. You literally can't do anything about it. This is what like, going back to Monday, my point about Kelly Oubre Jr. I'm like, how dare you, bro?
Yeah.
How dare you? Like you see the love, like Drake, like you said on Monday, Draymond Green has made a career out of setting picks for Steph Curry.
Turn him into a Hall of Famer.
And it's so cool to see the admiration. Like he gave Draymond and Iggy engraved Rolex watches after the game. And he also has one for Clay. How close that group is, how much they root for each other. And that's what a team is though. Learning and knowing, okay, this guy has this skill. I need to make sure he gets to do that skill as much as possible. So Draymond's basically done. Draymond basically is the equivalent of an offensive lineman in football.
Oh,
like he protect Steph at all cost. Protect Steph and Clay at all cost. But yeah, I mean, it's listen, back to we're gonna wrap it up, but it's an interesting conversation about their legacies.
Hold on, let me introduce somebody else to the conversation.
Okay.
Now this is a long shot projection. Okay, we're really grasping at straws for this one. LaMelo Ball just turned 20 years old and hasn't even logged a full 82 game season yet and is currently sitting at 182. Due to injuries and all that, he hasn't played the full 82 game slate yet. But he's at 182 and he just turned 20.
Right, but that's the problem. Because that, I mean, you need to be pretty, and that's the thing that's remarkable. Steph Curry missed a lot of time early in his career. those first 2 or 3 years, he was out a lot with his ankle issues, and a lot of people thought that was going to be his biggest downfall was can he stay on the court, and he figured that out. And look what he did. Look where he's at. It's absolutely insane. But we're going to take a break, and on the other side, we're going to get into this NBA COVID issue that I know you want to dive into.
Oh, I'm so mad.
The NBA and all leagues.
I'm so mad about this.
I have a couple TED Talks for you guys that I need to talk about, and we're going to bring back my favorite segment of all time. Bradman in the morning. Marcus Brown, Justin Emery.
I love it.
Looking for authentic Mexican food close to home? Great news. District Taco is just around the corner in Abington, Pennsylvania, and they'd love to fiesta with you. Offering delicious fish tacos, a California burrito stuffed with guac, steak, fries, and chipotle mayo, plus sweet, crispy churros. District Taco has it all. Try out the newest location and come back for more. Get 10% off your first in-app order with promo code BREMI10. Always fresh, always Mexican, District Taco.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys today about my friends at Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream. USA Today selected Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream as the best ice cream parlor in Pennsylvania. Uncle Mike's is a family-owned and dedicated to the production of premium quality and gourmet ice cream and sorbet, made fresh daily on the premises using the highest quality ingredients available. Uncle Mike's features over 30 unique delicious flavors offered in scoops, sundaes, shakes, and special order ice cream cakes and pies. Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream is located at 537 York Road in Warminster and is open all year round. Visit Uncle Mike's and let their friendly staff serve you happiness one scoop at a time.
Justin here. Let me tell you about my friends over at Beef Jerky Outlet. A family-owned business, Sharon and Michael have the best jerky around. They have a huge selection to choose from, but always make sure to try my personal favorite, the Honey Barbecue Turkey Jerky. Don't think they only have jerky for sale. They also have the best supply of sauces, marinades, and rubs for all of your new recipes. Located at 110 Lincoln Highway, right by Oxford Valley Mall. Head on over there, go in and say, yo, Justin sent me.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys about my friends at Amy's Pizza. Amy has a plethora of pizzas for your munching pleasure, especially pizzas such as Hawaiian, margarita, and taco. Taco actually being my personal favorite. And also plenty more. If it's sandwiches you desire, they've got those too. Cheesesteaks, burgers, hoagies, even gyros. Amy's offers pickup and takeout options. Also, they're available on Grubhub. Amy's located at 332 York Road in the heart of Hatboro. You can call them today at 215-957-1000. Again, that's 215-957-1000.
Every Friday, we're bringing you bits, but it's especially hilarious to me knowing what I've seen happen in McDonald's locations over the years. Hell, what I've done in McDonald's locations over the years. Hits.
Always winterize your pipes. I think that is such a funny...
And everything in between.
See,
it's the opposite. You don't see it, and he was totally about eating that baby. We are Twitty and the Brand. We're going to ruin something that you love. New episodes weekly on all your favorite podcast streamers.
Yeah, man. Welcome back. Bradman in the morning. Marcus Brown, Justin Emery.
Yo. And Twitty will be on Friday's show to atone for his sins.
Eating babies?
No, that fantasy football slander.
Okay. There's a lot of sins mentioned in that clip, Fizz.
I mean, he came on to explain it, and I left with more questions than answers.
Yep.
And then I realized not all questions should be answered.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack in that promo.
Lot to unpack. So, let's hit some facts real quick.
Yeah.
We actually got some. We got a big one in the history of sports, and it's ironic that last night some history in sports was made at this very place. 1925, Madison Square Garden formally opens.
The Mecca of basketball, one of the greatest places ever to go watch anything.
That was actually an NHL game, but still, the Garden opens.
MSG is special. It really is. And like again, that's why I love the fact that Knicks are relevant again because, you know, and by the way, how mad do you think Kevin Durant is that he chose Brooklyn over New York?
Oh, he's pissed.
You think like he he basically said that new and
Well,
at the time,
hold on,
right?
hold on. Save some of this for a later segment in the show.
Okay,
Okay, so because just save some of that for a later segment in the show.
all right.
I have a
Fair
feeling that those exact sentiments will rise in a little bit. So just pump the brakes on that.
Okay.
1974, first Major League Baseball free agent. Jim Catfish Hunter. I don't know who that is. Played for the Oakland.
I've heard the name. I know the name. I don't know much about him, but I've heard Catfish Hunter.
Yeah, he was the first MLB free agent.
Have you ever had fried catfish before?
Nope.
Delicious.
Yep. I'm weird about the seafood I like. I mean, I like seafood, obviously the Seafood Tower, but I'm very, very picky about my seafood. That's about
like fried flounder or anything like that.
Well, I don't like flounder, but I do like fried seafood, fried fish. But I'm just not a flounder guy.
Yo, a fried flounder sandwich. Elite.
Nah.
It's living.
Well, I'll take your word on it. 2001, the Leaning Tower of Pisa reopens. Apparently, it was closed so they could try to make sure it doesn't actually fall all the way over.
Yeah, that could be a problem.
That could definitely be a big problem, but it reopens. Let's see. 1998. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Oh no, Bill. Did you watch? Well, you probably didn't. They did. FX is doing these series.
Yes, impeachment. It's they did. So I believe this is season 3, if I recall correctly. Season 1 was the OJ one, I believe.
They did OJ. They did the Menendez brothers. Say that 3 times fast.
Didn't they also do the Versace thing?
Yes.
Okay, so the Menendez one I thought was real good. The OJ one I thought was awesome.
Yeah.
I couldn't get into the Versace one. I think it's just because the acting was so bad. Really? All right, maybe I'll go back and give it another chance. But I watched the first couple of it, and I just couldn't get into it.
The kid from Glee, he played Andrew Cunanan.
Yeah.
The guy who assassinated Johnny Versace.
Yeah.
It was really good.
They got Ricky Martin in it, I think, right?
I believe. I believe.
Yeah, I believe he plays it. He plays. Yeah, I believe he's in it. Ricky Martin, I'm pretty sure, is in it.
It was awesome. It was really good.
I watched as far as I know that they're doing the Clinton one right now. I watched maybe like the first 2 episodes of it, and then I just kind of forgot about it. Is it completed? Is it over?
Yeah, the dude that played Bill Clinton nailed it. He did it. He was awesome as Bill. Hillary was awesome when she gets featured, and like it answers a lot of questions about, because for me, I've always had questions about Hillary's relationship with Bill. Like when all this stuff was because Hillary is a huge reason that Bill even got into the White House in the first place. And actually they tell there's a funny story. After he admitted to Hillary about his affair, they go to it was Bill's best friend's birthday. So they go to the house to eat dinner, and Bill's telling a story about how when he first got president, they drove in a limo past Hillary's like hometown and celebration from like the small town, and they look out the window and see this guy that Hillary used to date. And Bill says, "Aren't you glad you married me instead of that guy? Now you're married to the president." And Hillary said, "If I would have married that guy, he would have been the president." And that dynamic has always been a curious dynamic for me because Hillary in '92, she goes the old Jennifer Flowers thing that happened in that time period. She goes on national TV and kind of says, "Listen, this is none of your business. It's none of your business at all. That's a family issue. It has nothing to do. If you don't like it, don't vote for him." And it kind of helped Bill, but it hurt her big time because everyone just hated her. Like everyone hated her throughout the entire time. And then it's funny because she wants to run for office, and I think she always had the idea of being president and running for president. But the scarlet letter of Bill Clinton is the reason why I believe she really didn't get elected, because people were like, "Nah, we ain't getting them Clintons back in the White House. That's not happening." Yeah. So it was interesting to see the dynamic of those two, and you see a lot of that which was awesome. I thought the Monica Lewinsky character, she was really good. They made her a little thick, like way too thick.
I thought so as well.
I was like, Monica wasn't that thick. Like, I don't know. Like, she wasn't like this. This girl was by no means fat, not by no means at all, but a little bit thicker than Monica. Like, actually, I thought a lot thicker than Monica was, which was a little weird. But other than that, I thought like FX they're nailing these.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'll go back and rewatch the Versace one and see if I can get back into it.
Yeah,
And,
it's started over. When you're out this long.
Oh yeah, no, I'll start it over, and then like I
promise you stick with it.
Yeah, and then I got the first two. Like I said, I watched the first two of Impeachment, and then because I watched it as it was coming out.
Yeah.
The thing is, my issue is when shows are actively coming out, I forget like to catch up on. And the next thing I know, I miss like 2 or 3 episodes. So it's really, I just usually wait till like it's a mini series. What's it like 6, 8 episodes, something like that.
Yeah,
I'll watch that in like a day or two.
Somewhere in that. It's a good binge because I didn't watch it when it was I had recorded it and like I was waiting for Amber. And then, like, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go watch this myself. I really want to watch this, and I busted. I got through in like a week. It was such good TV, and just interesting television of the Linda Tripp angle. All of it is just what a wild time to be alive. And for me, I'm a little bit older than you, so I read the Star Report, and that was like the Star Report was kind of like the internet had been up for about 4 years, and like. That was like the coming out party of the internet. Like, because everybody in there, that was one of the first things I remember everybody and their mom being on the internet looking for the Star Report to read this stuff and see what this man was doing behind closed doors. So like that was a major moment for the internet. And then also the Drudge Report, which was the first real like paparazzi style journalism that we ever saw in this country. Also, that released a Star Report and was kind of reporting this stuff. That's where it gave birth to like the Perez Hiltons and the Shade Rooms and all of that stuff. So it was really an interesting time, and one of the most interesting times in our country, where reality and politics kind of married. That we hadn't seen. We never saw a president in this type of situation with a scandal or a personal scandal like this. And it was I was like 18. So like I was just starting to be like get in stuff like this, and very interesting stuff. Hopefully half our audience is just tune out there and me talking about politics, but here we are. Let's move on.
Yes. So I just got an email from Lombardi show. I was trying to figure out if it's an important email or not, but I don't believe it is, so I'm just disregarding it.
Okay.
But like anytime that pops into your inbox, I gotta be like, oh, all right, hold on, let me look. But it's doesn't look like it's a relevant email to me. And the last one, 1993, Schindler's List opens and Steven Spielberg wins his first Oscar.
Great movie. Yeah, I mean, obviously without fail, a great movie.
I've never seen it.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised.
Man.
Yeah, like you said, kind of went off a little bit on the politics thing, but it doesn't matter. It's our show. We can do whatever we want to do on it.
Yeah. All right, so you want to do this COVID combo? Big COVID talk?
Yeah. All right.
I'm just gonna lay out and turn this over to you.
All right. So I need to draw attention to Adam Silver. All right, because for a while there, he was looking like the best commissioner of all the 4 leagues. But this man is a fraud. He's a pawn. He's a puppet. Whatever adjective you want to use, you can apply to this guy. Okay?
Can't trust this man.
No. January 9th, 2021, the Sixers were playing a game against Denver with only 7 players, and they made them dress an injured Mike Scott to hit the 8-player minimum to have the game be played because he's still mad about the process. He's still upset about that. But here, you fast forward almost a year later, and you have 2 teams that have outbreaks. And what does he do? cancels the games. No problem. Hey, we're just going to postpone these games. Why are you playing favorites with selective franchises? This is why nobody takes you seriously, and the players run your league, and the owners have no say over it. And you have situations like this with the Ben Simmons incident. You have no problem stepping in when the teams are tanking, trying to get good players, because you have a terrible lottery system that the worst team doesn't get the first pick. You have a terrible pay scale for your free agents. Even mediocre players are making $20 to $25 million a year. Mike Conley should not have a $183 million contract. That man does not deserve $183 million. But because you have a jacked up pay scale, that's what happens. You're screwing over the entire league. You're only in this position because David Stern recommended you. And had he had anybody else as his assistant, he would have just recommended them. You just backdoored your way into this job by being in the right place at the right time. I think
you
that's
have hair on your face and body. It stresses me out.
What's that?
And he has no hair on his face and body.
He looks like a vampire.
Weird.
He looks like a vampire from a black and white 60s movie.
If you're gonna be bald and you're gonna go bald, you gotta put some hair on your. There needs to be hair somewhere. If it can't be on your head, it needs to be on your face. Bald man 101.
It drives me. It just drives me.
No, you're absolutely right. And like you bring up the Sixers and how he's still mad.
I mean, you had no problem with the Hinkie incident, but we're going to step in. Then you bring in Brian Colangelo. No, I'm sorry, Jerry Colangelo, who hires his idiot son, Brian Colangelo, in one of the biggest nepotism moves this city's ever seen. And we had the Eskins for decades, okay? And I'm talking about this is one of the biggest nepotism things I've ever seen. Then on top of that, his wife has burner accounts on Twitter calling the star player fat and injury prone and all of this. Meanwhile, you stepped in and did nothing and let the team handle it. And then what? This all comes back to who's the owner of this team? I just forgot his name. Josh Harris. This all comes back to him being an idiot. And he's letting Adam Silver walk all over him. This is now the third or the fourth time that the commissioner is coming into his house and Dave Chappelle as Rick James in his sofa in this man's living room. Over and over and over again. Adam Silver is playing favorites out here. He's playing the LeBron sweepstakes, the Steph Curry sweepstakes. Why has he not done something about Ben Simmons? This is a black eye on the entire league. He had no problem. We condemn the process. You have to try to compete. We're implementing our own GM. We're postponing games for the Bulls. We're postponing games for the Charlotte Hornets. But the Sixers, no, you got to dress an injured player. Oh, we're kicking out your GM because we don't like that he's found a loophole in the rules that we already screwed up the original rules. Why do we have ping pong balls?
Well, hold on a second. Devil's advocate.
Okay.
If you're out, why would you say anything about Ben Simmons? And the reason why I say that because at the end of the day,
I don't mean say something. You need to be.
I mean do something. No, I'm sticking. Do something. I used the wrong context. Do something about Ben Simmons. Why would you do something about Ben Simmons? Think about it this way: if you're Adam Silver, this is working out perfectly for you because do you like you mentioned the pay scales are out of control, the contracts are out of control. So if this plays out. We have next time we come back to the table for collective bargaining agreement, we can say, hey, well, because of this happened with Ben Simmons, we're going to start putting this in place in contracts, which he probably wants anyway.
Do you think? Now, let me ask you this: do you think Roger Goodell would allow this to happen?
No. Well, the NFL is just a different animal. Like the NFL,
for the sake of argument, do you think Roger Goodell would allow this to occur?
No, but players that play. But the thing is, though, players don't have this much control in the NFL, and now that's a different conversation because they should have a little bit more control than they do. But I think the NBA has way too much control. I think there needs to be a balance between both. Like NFL is way too little control, NBA way too much control. But yeah, you're right. Like you look at the Sixers, the way he treats the Sixers. Where's that same energy for Oklahoma City? Where they sat Shai Alexander fully healthy for months, and they basically told Al Horford, "Listen, dog, you ain't playing." Where was that energy then? Where's the energy for them that you have for the Sixers? Why? Because they're in Oklahoma City. This is Philadelphia. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, no, it makes sense, but it's not fair.
They're both in your league. And by the way, Oklahoma City, yeah, they're not a marquee market, but they were a marquee franchise. They were a marquee franchise before Durant left and Westbrook got traded and Harden left. They were a marquee franchise for a while. So, yeah, not a marquee market, but definitely a marquee franchise with a good fan base. So, it doesn't make sense. If you're upset about what the Sixers did, Oklahoma City's basically doing the same thing. They lost by 73 points this year. 73 points in an NBA game. It's absurd.
I think I just blew a blood vessel during that segment there.
Yeah, you have to get off the chest. I get it, but
it's just it irritates me, and obviously the added fuel to the fire is that it's my team as well.
Right. Yeah.
But I just can't stand like if this was happening to two other teams, I would still be pissed off about it. Maybe not as pissed off because it's my team, but I can't. I hate this guy.
It's frustrating watching the Bulls get postponed. Sixers recently went through COVID this past month. Not to the degree the Bulls went to. I'm not, obviously not. But you couple that into with starting off 8-2, going through COVID, the Ben Simmons situation. Now you're watching teams get nights off because they're going through COVID, and you're not getting that same energy. It is frustrating. But do you feel?
Yeah, I would like to sit him down, and I would just ask him two simple questions. Okay, number one. Why did you feel the need to remove a front office executive in this case with Hinkie, but not in the situation in Portland?
Right.
That's an answer that he doesn't want to have to give.
No, of course not.
And number two, if you're not enforcing league fines and leaving it up to the individual team to do it, with the strength that the NBA Players Association has, without backing from the league and making the team do it, how are you going to gain any leverage in the collective bargaining agreements? Because you're leaving the teams hanging out to dry. You're not enforcing league-wide mandates, or I shouldn't say mandates, league-wide assistance in this situation. Yeah. Adam Silver works for the owners. Make no mistake about it.
Mm-hmm.
When are the owners going to, spine up and get rid of him is the question. And it's somebody like Josh Harris, who the Sixers are a business investment for him. He doesn't care. He's not Mark Cuban. He's not who's the guy for the Clippers? Steve Ballmer. He's not Steve Ballmer. This is a business investment for him. He doesn't care. So we're screwed. This is the simple way is to say I think that we might be screwed.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you feel better. You got yourself off the chest because I have something to get off my chest.
Okay.
I'd like everyone to gather around and come in and sit down. Take your seats, please.
Soapbox.
Yeah, I need you guys to all sit down. Thank you all for coming to my TED Talks.
Can you guys hear him in the back? Good. All right.
Me back there. Good. Thank you. So first, let's start with this. An observation I've made over the past couple weeks and months. It's 2021, and I understand the need for the cell phone. And, the cell phone is something now that 20 years ago had very little use in our society, but now people can't leave their homes without it. And it's trickled down to our children who have devices that they use, especially usually when he gets about, I guess, 10 or 11 years old is now the age where kids are starting to get cell phones. And I, as you guys know, am the head coach of the 7th grade middle school, 8-0, by the way. And I've been had the time. I haven't really been around youth. I used to work with kids all the time back in my younger days. I worked with kids. I was in education for 20 plus years, and I haven't really been around kids a large volume of kids besides my own in probably about 3 years. So we had a road game the other day, and I just sat back and I'm just observing my team, and they all have their phones out. They're posting on their TikToks and Snapchats and taking videos and dancing, all this stuff like this. And I just thought back to my younger years and me growing up my adolescence. It's just so funny to me that these kids today are so obsessed with cameras and documenting their footage of all of their hijinks and things they're doing. In my generation, the last thing in the world I wanted around me was a camera. Because I did not want anyone seeing or having anything to do with anything I was doing behind closed doors. Because it was all really bad things. When my friends and I went in the woods for an excursion, the last thing in the world we wanted around us was a camera. Because something weird was going to happen that we did not want held against us 15, 20 years from now.
Yep.
Kids, let me tell you something. You guys are making it really hard on yourselves. Because you're getting to that age now as you get older. You're getting your high school years. You don't want these things documented. You don't want, like, what happens in Mrs. Schroeder's basement is not something you want on your camera in 15 years. You don't want that because here's the deal. I'm going to be honest with you guys. We have seen this happen with not just celebrities, with randos, where footage that you have taken has come back. It's like a boomerang. You throw it out there, it's going to come back to you. And when you were 15, you thought it was pretty cool you were down the basement vaping and doing weird things down the basement. At 25, when you're applying for your future job and your boss goes on and sees this stuff, it might not be so cool to you then.
All right, that one hit a little close to home. Let's move on.
So here's my advice to you guys. Stop snitching on yourselves. You go to a party, leave that at the party. Don't put it on Snapchat. Don't put it on your TikTok. Don't put it on your IG. And listen, you guys think you're cute with these burners? Believe me, these burners can and will be found. Ask Brian Colangelo, as we just talked about. Burners will be found. So stop telling on yourselves. Put the phones away. Stop it.
I mean, would you have ever put yourself in a position to self-snitch?
No, because I don't want my mama to find out. Like, I don't want her to know this. I don't want her to see this stuff. I don't want anybody to see this stuff. Like, that's the thing about, like I said, like we didn't have cell phones, but there were the weirdos that carried around like camcorders and stuff like that. And what did you do when the camcorder came near you? You put the hand right to the camcorder and said, "No, get that out of my face. Turn that off right now. What are you doing?" That was the energy. It wasn't, "Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's up, IG?" No, we're not going on live. I'm not giving you live from my boy's party in his basement that he's probably not even supposed to have because his parents are out for the weekend. And now they're in Cancun. They're watching on the live, commenting in the live saying you're grounded forever. That's what this kind of situation you're putting yourself in. And now your boy's mad at you because you had the camera on, but who allowed the camera in the house? You did.
Well, I mean, this is an example, but let's not forget about I believe it was the New York City, maybe Washington, D.C. I think it was New York City party with John Wall.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Yes.
D.C., New York, something.
I don't know where it was, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Where it's like.
How about Kyrie at the birthday party last year?
Yeah.
No one would have known that if the cameras were down.
Stop snitching on yourself.
Snitching on yourself. If you know you're not supposed to be somewhere, like we used to sneak out the house all the time. Maybe we're grounded. Maybe we're not supposed to be out at this party. Maybe we lied, said we're going to be at Larry's house, but really be at Ricky, Bobby, and Mike's. you're somewhere you're not supposed to be. Whatever you're doing, whatever dirt you're doing, the last thing I'm doing if I know I'm not supposed to be there is now get my phone out and recording myself and making visual evidence that I was supposed. How are you going to lie then? Like, I'm telling you, I'm telling you this has happened. Bobby sneaks out of the house. Parents have suspicions. What do? Let me see what this man doing on IG. Let me see. Oh, okay, got him. Comes home. Oh, I thought you said you were studying at Bill's house. Oh, Mom, I was. Yeah, it's study night. We have a huge AP test coming up. Oh, for real? Camera in your face. Now look at you. Now look at yourself. Sitting there with a dumb look on your face because you stitched on yourself, put it on live. Why? Why are you doing that? I'm going to move on.
Self-snitching.
I'm going to move on.
Topic two. Topic two for those in the back. Topic two.
It's going to be a sore subject for a lot of people. And it's going to make a lot of people really upset. So if you're in a situation right now and you're sitting next to somebody, I think you might want to turn this off, listen by yourself. I think you might want to.
Yeah. Let me preface this by saying,
to get to a safe place.
Yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You've been warned.
Friends with benefits is a scam. It's not real. It's not a thing. And, again, it's going to be a tough subject for a lot of people, but let me tell you something right now. It's not a real thing. If you are a person that can hook up with someone for 8 months to a year without a title, that doesn't make you a badass. It makes you a bad person. Like, you are devoid of feelings. You are a robot. You are a 10-man. There is no way in the world it is possible to hook up with someone.
I'm seeing myself now.
And say one person, like, maybe it's not both people, but somebody's catching feelings. And I'm telling you right now, we've all been in this situation before. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and throw stones at glass houses. I've been in this situation before, and I know that I have hurt someone's feelings, or, feelings have been hurt. And just because they don't say it doesn't mean it's not true. They're going to tell you, oh, yeah, I love this situation. Then they're cry themselves to sleep because they love you. They're sad. They want to be with you because that's what it is. It's supposed to be a relationship. You're supposed to experience that in a relationship. Now, listen, there's one-night stands. That happens. You start off with friends with bennies. It happens. But if you continue this friends with bennies for a long period of time, bro, what are you doing? Get your life right. Get your life right, bro. You can't be doing that. Like, friends with bennies expires after about 3 months. You get 3 months, and then you need to figure out, we together or are we not together? Because at the end of the day, how many people have been here where you're hooking up with somebody and you think it's all sweet, and then it's like, hey, we're going to hang out in our friend group. And then you start flirting with somebody else. Shoot your face across and see the look on their face, the way they're looking at you. But you're going to get mad at them and be like, oh, you're acting crazy. No, you were just with me last night, and now you're looking at this one over here? Do I not have feelings? Do I not hurt? Do I not bleed? Do that? It's terrible. You're a bad person doing that. You can't do that. You're living wrong. Living all wrong. It can start that way. It will never end that way. Somebody's going to start liking somebody. You can't just do that for a long period of time and expect feelings not to occur. They're going to occur. And you're going to need to address those feelings or move on. You got 90 days. 90 days for your fun. After 90 days, it expires. A contract must be signed, or you must move on. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I just want to let that breathe. I don't even want to. I don't want to give any give any ad libs or anything. That just needed to breathe upon itself.
Yeah, I mean, listen, and listen. I'm a.
Now was there a certain incident or something that you read? Like what spurred that?
It's just like I feel like as you get older, you just observe things from a different perspective. Because listen, I've been there before, and I've been that guy. Like, oh my god, bro, like, yo, I was out at the club, and this baddie walked by, and I started checking her out, and this girl I'm messing around with, she got mad at me. Well, of course she got mad at you, Marcus. What do you mean? Like, why was she not? She has feelings. What are you doing? It's not cool. It's not right. And like, honestly, guys are way more responsible for girls because we're terrible people. We are. Like, for us, listen, at the end of the day, for a woman, sex is pizza. For a man, sex is water. That's the difference. So we look at it a little bit differently of those things. We don't think all the way about what we're doing and our actions and how they affect other people because we got to get to the bag.
I tell people at least 3 to 5 times a week I'm a terrible person, so I keep my bases covered.
Yeah, there you go. But listen, I hope you guys had a chance to walk away if you're with somebody.
Oh yeah, come on back in. You're welcome to come on back in.
There 5 months in, I know you're sad about what I just said to you, but you did it to yourself, bro. Do better.
Listen, a lot of people are looking to find ways out of the room right now that didn't get out before you said it.
Oh, it reminds me of do you ever watch the Lemonade album, Beyonce's visual album? Did you watch the album?
No.
Do you know what the album's about?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically, for those of you that don't know, it's her talking about when Jay-Z was cheating on her.
Yeah.
So like I watched the entire album. I watched it with Amber. It was on HBO, and it was like we watched it on our phone because I had no idea it was even on HBO. And it was just her chronicling his cheating through song and video. And like I was comfortable because I'm not doing anything wrong. But I was like, man, it's a lot of really uncomfortable dudes out there right now watching some girls like, please don't correlate this to me. Please, just sweating.
Facts.
Yeah.
A lot of people having some uncomfortable moments right now. Listen,
yeah, I hope it's a lot of girls right now calling up their man and say, hey, I was listening to Brad and Emery and we need to talk.
Marcus was out here dropping facts all day.
Yeah.
Just a little blood vessel. And Marcus is out here dropping relationship knowledge.
Yeah.
All the meanwhile, we chronicled the entire Ben Simmons scenario before all this.
Yeah, I feel like we've accomplished a lot. We're an hour and a half in. I feel like we've accomplished a lot.
So
I feel like very productive this morning.
Should I make some more people uncomfortable / pissed off?
Sure, why not?
All right. So where do you rank the following 3 foods? Okay. 3 dishes, I should say. Tacos.
Yeah.
Burrito.
Mm-hmm.
Fajita.
Just as you named it.
In that order?
I'm not changing it. Yep. That's it.
So you're going taco 1.
Hard taco 1.
Hard taco 1. Burrito 2.
Hard taco it's okay. It'll get you by. But like a taco is a hard taco.
Yes.
When I think of a taco, it should be a hard taco.
Unless we're talking street tacos, obviously then I'm going soft shell.
Yes.
But if we're just talking tacos, it's the hard shell.
1,000%.
So you then number 2, you're going burritos.
Yes.
3 fajitas.
Yes. Fajitas on this, putting it there because listen, the only thing cool about a fajita is the presentation. But I love the sizzling plate, it coming out all hot. It looks cool. But really, I'm not gonna order that unless I want to see a cool show.
So I made a statement the other night. We were cooking fajitas.
Okay.
I turned to her and I go, tacos, burritos, fajitas. They're all the same thing.
No way. No, that's not true.
That's how I'm feeling.
No, they're not the same thing.
They're the same thing in different forms.
Tacos, meat, cheese, lettuce, tomato. Burritos, meat, cheese, lettuce, tomato, rice. Fajitas, meat, maybe cheese, maybe rice, peppers.
And onions.
Very different. You can't. Could you put onions and peppers on a taco?
I do.
What? It's absurd. That's not a taco. You're making a fajita with a hard shell. Hard shell fajita.
I like hard shell fajitas.
Sound bad. I'm in. By the way, that actually sounds really good. I think you just figure out a way to spice up the fajita. But they're very different, though.
I mean, you basically just almost said word for word the exact response she gave me.
Yeah,
But that doesn't change my mind.
I'm with her.
burritos, tacos, fajitas, they're all the same thing.
They're not.
They are.
Listen. If I put those 3 items in front of you, I put a blindfold on you. I said, Justin, here, what's this? You're gonna say taco.
Now here's the thing.
Rice, you're gonna say burrito. Fajita, you taste the peppers, fajita.
All right. I'm willing to concede that maybe my opinion's skewed because I put the same stuff on all of them.
Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, I'm actually, now that you've mentioned that, I want to try a hard shell fajita. I mean,
like why can I not put the only difference between the fajita and the other things are the subtraction of items off of the burrito or taco with the addition of the peppers and onions. Why can I not just add peppers and onions to the taco and the burrito?
totally fair. Now, I don't know that I'm adding peppers and onions to a big burrito. Well, yeah, I guess I would do that too. I guess the moral of the story is peppers and onions be part of all of these dishes.
Yeah, I guess maybe we approached this topic from the wrong angle.
Yeah.
I approached this as a debate amongst the three, and I think the right answer is just to combine them all.
Yeah, because I'll be honest, like I said, I think fajitos are cool looking. Bring out the skillet with like everything in there. It's a cool concept, and making it your own and making it a table. All that's cool. But I think the fajita by far is the worst out of all 3 of them. I wouldn't go like if I go to a Mexican restaurant, I'm not ordering fajitas unless I just want a presentation made about me. And people will say, "Oh, I'll go over there. I wish I got that, but no, I really don't. I just want to see the presentation."
Plot twist: the enchilada.
I'm not very experienced with the enchilada. Obviously, I know what it is. I've seen it before. I can't. Isn't an enchilada really just a burrito with sauce on top of it?
With sauce, beans, and cheese melted on top of it, essentially.
I'm not mad at it. Like I eat it, but it's not.
But they're usually on a smaller scale. They're usually like mini burritos because you usually get 2 or 3 of them at a time.
No, you know what's top notch? Like a really good plate of nachos, like from restaurant quality nachos.
Yeah, the Guy's restaurant at Foxwoods. I'm telling you, Marcus, these trash can nachos. Apparently, Guy's known for these nachos.
And nachos?
Yeah, so they come out in it's like a big metal cylinder.
Okay.
And it has a handle on it, and everything's in the cylinder. They pull the cylinder up so it stands up, and then it just naturally falls apart. And everything's all mixed inside of it, all over the nachos.
And
I believe the closest one that they have here is in the Poconos. The closest place is in the Poconos, which really isn't that far from the mountain.
It really isn't. I can get to the Poconos in like an hour and 15.
I mean, we've been waiting for you to go to White Castle, and we're still sitting here.
Yeah, we're still waiting for the White Castle. But yeah, that sounds amazing. I love a good. You know what has really good nachos? Cheesecake Factory, because their house chips are so good.
You know who else has good nachos? Xfinity Live.
I can see that. You have a sports
like the main area, the main NBC bar. Yeah. Not if you go to like one of the side bars.
Yeah, sports bar atmosphere. You should have good nachos because that's a great like. See, nachos is something I want like a big thing of it and get like 4 people involved.
Yes,
because like you want to get it as like I don't like that as my main dish. I like it as an appetizer, but you can't go 2 people nachos because usually. Oh, I've seen their nachos. Yeah, I've seen people order their nachos before. Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about. But like, it's a huge helping, so you don't want to go too because then you're not getting anything else. And I can't do a meal of nachos.
I partook before I went, so I didn't have an issue. But yes, it is a big plate. What are your so obviously I'd say nachos for both of us are in there. What are your other 2 top 3 bar foods?
Burger. I mean, I love. I mean, I order burgers pretty much everywhere.
I grilled burgers yesterday. I meant to take pictures to show them on the show today, but I ate them so fast I couldn't. I've never melted cheese that perfectly before. It was phenomenal. Yeah, like it was like perfect. It was like a cocoon of cheese around it.
See, I like wings, but like I don't like the thing about wings is a food that's hard to eat with other people. Because you can't be a part of a conversation when you're eating wings.
No,
you're just your head's down.
I'm making a mess, which I don't care about making a mess in public.
My head's down. I gotta concentrate on what I'm doing. I can't be watching the game and eating wings. That's why wings to me is like an overrated sports food because it's hard to focus on the game when I'm eating the wings. The wings is after the game.
Halftime.
Yeah, halftime. Cause I gotta be involved in the wings. Yeah, maybe pregame. Yeah, that's good too. But I like chicken fingers. Chicken finger. I love a good chicken finger.
Yeah, I'm an onion ring mozzarella stick guy.
Ooh, yeah. Onion rings and mozzarella sticks are both great items.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if I can get like one of those platters that has like onion rings, mozzarella sticks, and maybe a few boneless wings on there, sign me up.
It's elite. I like the onion petals.
Yes, yeah.
Because then you're just right there. You're dipping
You're
your head
the whole time.
You're good to go.
Let us not forget pretzel rods with some beer cheese.
Yes, sir. Yes, you know the vibes.
Especially shout out to the Applebee's Blue Moon beer cheese.
I haven't heard of that, but I'm gonna shout it out because it sounds delicious.
Go to the Applebee's, get the pretzels.
Is it Miller's Ale House that has a good pretzel and beer cheese? Or I get that wrong.
I don't even know if they have it. I'm not going to say that you're wrong.
I feel like I had it there and it was exceptional, but I could be wrong.
I do know that the Applebee's one is what you need.
Whenever I see that, I'm getting it. It's going to be a share. We're growing 2 apps. We'll do that paired with something else.
You know what has good pretzel rods? That Founding Farmers place that I mentioned to you.
Yeah, you need to text me that place in like once a week. I need to get there.
Well, actually, we went there the other night again.
What'd you get this time?
Spicy fried chicken jambalaya.
And
words cannot quantify it.
You said enough words. Fried chicken jambalaya.
Spicy fried chicken jambalaya.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. I need to get there because it sounds like a place right up my alley.
Oh, you need to go there. Make sure, if you can, make sure you sit upstairs. They have like a downstairs dining room, but if you have the ability to sit upstairs, definitely try to sit upstairs.
Yes. All right. Let's take a break.
Okay.
And on the other side, we will get to the return of my favorite segment.
Yeah. Oh, it's a good one.
Segments. And a little hockey and all. Brian Emery in the morning. Marcus Brown, Justin Emery. Right back.
Looking for authentic Mexican food close to home? Great news. District Taco is just around the corner in Abington, Pennsylvania, and they'd love to fiesta with you. Offering delicious fish tacos, a California burrito stuffed with guac, steak, fries, and chipotle mayo, plus sweet, crispy churros. District Taco has it all. Try out the newest location and come back for more. Get 10% off your first in-app order with promo code BREMI10. Always fresh, always Mexican. District Taco.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys today about my friends at Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream. USA Today selected Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream as the best ice cream parlor in Pennsylvania. Uncle Mike's is a family-owned and dedicated to the production of premium quality and gourmet ice cream and sorbet, made fresh daily on the premises using the highest quality ingredients available. Uncle Mike's features over 30 unique delicious flavors offered in scoops, sundaes, shakes, and special order ice cream cakes and pies. Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream is located at 537 York Road in Warminster and is open all year round. Visit Uncle Mike's and let their friendly staff serve you happiness one scoop at a time.
Justin here. Let me tell you about my friends over at Beef Jerky Outlet. A family-owned business, Sharon and Michael have the best jerky around. They have a huge selection to choose from, but always make sure to try my personal favorite, the Honey Barbecue Turkey Jerky. Don't think they only have jerky for sale. They also have the best supply of sauces, marinades, and rubs for all of your new recipes. Located at 110 Lincoln Highway, right by Oxford Valley Mall. Head on over there, go in and say, yo, Justin sent me.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys about my friends at Amy's Pizza. Amy has a plethora of pizzas for your munching pleasure, especially pizzas such as Hawaiian, Margarita, and Taco. Taco actually being my personal favorite. And also plenty more. If it's sandwiches you desire, they've got those too. Cheesesteaks, burgers, hoagies, even gyros. Amy's offers pickup and takeout options. Also, they're available on Grubhub. Amy's located at 332 York Road in the heart of Hatboro. You can call them today at 215-957-1000. Again, that's 215-957-1000.
Every Friday, we're bringing you bits, but it's especially hilarious to me knowing what I've seen happen in McDonald's locations over the years. Hell, what I've done in McDonald's locations over the years. Hits.
Always winterize your pipes. I think that is such a funny.
And everything in between. Nah,
Oh,
see, it's the
God.
opposite. You don't see it, and he was totally about eating that baby. We are Twitty and the Brand. We're going to ruin something that you love. New episodes weekly on all your favorite podcast streamers.
Yeah, man. Welcome back. Bradman in the morning. Marcus Brown, Justin Emery.
Yo.
So I am so excited right now
Pull up
because
my notes.
this is something that we've done going all the way back to the days of Give and Go.
Yep.
One of my favorite segments that we've ever come up with. I'm so excited to bring it back. This segment is titled, ladies and gentlemen, Hate It or Love It. Now, it's really simple. Justin's going to bring up something that maybe happened in pop culture, maybe happened in sports. I don't know. And we're going to decide, do we hate it or do we love it?
Yep. We're going to bounce all around. We got some movie stuff, food stuff, sports stuff, pop culture stuff, and quite frankly, some real life stuff. So we're going to bounce around. Oh, we'll start with the first one. Is Kevin James playing Sean Payton in an upcoming movie?
Hate it. I saw the pictures yesterday. I like the idea of the movie, but Kevin James, you're too fat to play Sean Payton. Doesn't make any sense.
No, I thought the same thing.
Like, if people,
Same
you see the headline, one of the headlines was,
Unrecognizable, it said.
it's Kevin James.
Did you
I
see
like
what,
that.
did you see what Devin commented on it?
No, I didn't.
Commented on it goes, that's just mall cop with a visor.
No, I agree. Like, that's ridiculous. I mean, I think it's a great idea for a movie, but come on, bro. That's Kevin James and Sean Payton. If I'm Sean Payton, I'm like, no, he's not playing me.
No, I agree. Burger King shortening their menu because they're trying to speed up people through the drive-thru. So this is basically their way of saying our employees suck, so we need to make it easier.
I mean, what are they taking off? Do you know what they're taking off the menu?
They did not specify the
I
exact.
hate it right now. If they're taking off anything like, well, obviously, probably not the Whoppers, or they're probably getting special items taken off. But I hate it. I hate it. Why in the world why are you discrediting and taking off your menu? Like, you can't pull something like that unless you have creme de la creme, a couple creme de la creme items. I like the variety. In a fast food restaurant, I like variety. I get to the window and call an audible, and now you're taking it all away from me. What if I want to run a hot route?
We're taking it away.
Hate it.
Next, Kyrie Irving tweeting out a picture of him, a video of him putting on basketball shoes, saying he might be returning.
Why is he building his return up like it's a second coming? You're supposed to be out there 2 months ago, bro. No, hate it.
Fair. Kim Kardashian passed the baby bar exam in the state of California.
Love it. Good for her. I know she's been working really hard to get that done, and also she's become a huge advocate for social injustice and doing a lot of great work behind the scenes and following the footsteps of her dad, Robert Kardashian, which I think is pretty cool. So love it.
Next up we have the annual list of the best bars with a cocktail in the entire world came out.
Ooh.
And
Okay.
this is the first time, I believe, in 7 years that New York did not break the top 5.
You're falling off.
In
It's not-
fact, the best restaurant for them was a Japanese-inspired restaurant called Katana Kitten, and it came in at number 10. So the best bar in America is only the 10th best bar in the world. To put it into perspective, London took spots 1 and 2.
Really?
Yes.
That surprised me a little bit.
London took 1 and 2. Let me see if I can pull up the full list real quick. But yeah, London. Apparently, it's been going back and forth. for the last few years between London and New York, with London really running away with it. Here we go. Number 1, London. Number 2, London. Number 3, Barcelona. I'm not going to try to pronounce these because I don't want to disrespect these places' names. Number 4, Athens. Number 5, Buenos Aires. Number 6, Mexico City. Number 7, Hong Kong. Number 8, St. Petersburg. Number 9, Singapore. Number 10, New York City.
The only one really surprised me in London. I don't want to disrespect London, but like all those other areas I've heard were great places to, and not that London's not a great place to travel. I know they have a pub, like the pub situation out there is pretty legit, but I don't know. Like I don't know. I felt I've Singapore, not surprised. Hong Kong, not surprised. You know, wait, did you mention Italy at all?
No, it was London, 1 and 2, Barcelona, which is obviously
was another good one.
Athens, Greece for number 4, Buenos Aires, Argentina, Mexico City, Hong Kong, St. Petersburg, which I believe is in Russia, Singapore, and then number 10, New York City.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Next we have Being the Ricardos. You heard about this movie coming out. There's a movie coming out documenting the life of Lucy and Ricky Ricardo.
Really?
Yes.
Love it.
Like high budget production.
As it should be. One of the, I mean, a revolutionary moment in television, for so many different reasons. A revolutionary television show for so many reasons. Yeah, I'm definitely in. I know a good friend of mine is gonna be really excited about this because she's obsessed with Lucille Ball.
Yeah,
well, so that's cool.
Yeah, it's called Being the Ricardos.
Love it.
You're not a Broadway show guy, are you?
I dibble and dabble. I'm not like, I don't know like all like the all the shows, but like I like Chicago, like shows like that. Like I'm into. I watch.
Now we know that Papoose was in the dugout, but were you at Clubhouse?
Have I been in the Clubhouse?
Have you been in the Clubhouse?
I've seen the Clubhouse.
So Clubhouse and Broadway are actually pairing up in a partnership to bring musicals to people at home who might not be able to make it to see the play.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome. Culturing people up.
So
I'm in. That's awesome.
And then here's the last one.
That's
And I believe we're both going to hate this one. You ever work in food in your life? You ever work in the food industry? Were you a server at any point? Ever worked in a restaurant? No. But no, obviously you understand servers work for tips, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So this server, she received a $4,400 tip, which you would believe would dictate that she had some really good service, a very good bill, and a rich customer.
Yes.
Would you be surprised to say that it led to her getting fired?
Yes. Why? What? Yeah. What?
So the tip came in, and the manager all of a sudden said, well, we have to pool tips. Then all of a sudden said, well, there's also a house fee on your tips. She had been working there for 3 years, and in the 3 years that she worked there prior to that night, she had never heard about that.
This is trash.
So because she refused to do it, she got fired.
Is it like a mom and pop, or is this like a mainstream restaurant?
I mean, I can listen, a $4,400 tip. Imagine how big that is. You don't get that at mom and pop.
It feels like a lawsuit coming down that pipe. I mean, it deserves to be sued.
She also has gotten $10,000 via GoFundMe donated to her.
Good.
So she's up right now 14-4.
Good. As she should be. I hate this. I hate people like this. Like, don't be mad at these people. And like servers, there are certain people in life I believe you should always be nice to. The people cook your food, people that serve you your food, people that do service, people that clean your house, like people that take care of your kids. These are people that you must be nice to, unless given reason otherwise. And like servers are people, they bust their ass to work, and like they don't make great wages, by themselves. So tips are everything to them. And, you know, you need to take care of them. Like, I cannot be friends with a bad tipper. I can't. I don't like bad tippers.
So here's what happened. It happened at he was serving a table, a party of 30 people. He was serving, and they're part of a dining party called the $100 Club, because every meal they order is at least $100, and they leave a minimum of $100 tip per person.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, so they it was probably between 125 and 150 a person, basically. So that's a solid tip.
It's happened at a steakhouse in Arkansas. And of course, the restaurant disputes the fired server's story, ran to Red Hat Guy media outlet to defend themselves, but is refusing to provide any additional explanation to their side of the story.
Well, all we need is the receipt,
which basically comes to stop being so mean to us online.
Right. Well, that's bad.
And that wraps up the return of Hate It or Love It.
Long way to return to Hate It or Love It. Can't wait for that next week. I think we should maybe get Devin involved in this.
We could definitely bring in another person.
But this was fun. I'm glad it's back. But speaking of fun, remember today we talked about we would have our list of the top 5 features of all time.
Yes.
And the top 5 remixes of all time.
Yes. So I want you to go first, and let's start with remixes.
Okay.
Okay, let's start. Here's what we'll do. Run me down the whole 1 through 5, and then go, or 5 to 1, whichever one you want to go. Run down the full list first, and then we'll break down song by song.
This is no particular order, okay?
No particular. Okay.
No particular order. Any Up remix, Been Around the World remix. The only one I go pre-2000 was Been Around the World remix. Walk It Out remix. Oh, actually, that's not true. This is pre-2000 also. Rough Riders Anthem, the remix, and Made You Look remix.
And the Made You Look, yes. What was the first one? Annie Up, you said?
Annie Up remix, yes, with Busta Rhymes, Remy Ma. That goes on in the club. It hits different. Busta Rhymes now. MOP now. What you want now? What you want now?
Oh, that's the video from
Annie Up.
Do you remember that video that went viral on of the kid driving with his dad to school, and the dad's like driving and that song comes on and he loses it.
Yeah,
like,
you can't help but lose it. There's a couple parts in that song you lose it, like when Remy Ma hits "Wish I Could Bring Pun Back," run that. Like there's some part of that song you just lose your mind.
Fair. All right, so let's break it down then individually.
So the Annie Up remix, yeah, that's just, and then the Been Around the World remix with Diddy, Mace, and Carl Thompson. That hook just hits just different, like absolutely infectious with that hook. Walk It Out remix, one of my favorite Andre 3000 verses of all time. Walk It Out like Usher. If you say real talk, I probably won't trust you. Crazy bar. Then you have the Rough Riders Anthem, which had so many moments on there. That was the first I think that was the first one we got. Jada, Styles, Chic, Eve, Jadakiss, all on the same, and DMX all on the same record. And that was a big moment for Eve, because for a lot of people, it was the first time the world really heard Eve. Blonde Bombshell Caramel. That's all you gotta remember from that record. And then the main event. This is my favorite remix of all time. The Made You Look remix, which again had so many moments. Like I hate it when people pick who had the best verse, but I have a hot take on this. People usually give the Jadakiss, and Jadakiss's verse was fire. But what people take out of Jadakiss's verse was top 5 that are alive, and that's just off one LP, which was a fire line, obviously ridiculous. He had some crazy wordplay on there, on that whole verse. But for me, Ludacris had the best verse on that song. I'm from a school of hard knocks, sneak peeks, and low blows with X smart spot and like O's. Like Ludacris, and like I think too, like the reason why it stands out for me is that I don't think anybody expected Ludacris to show off like that. And then people forget about Nas's verse. Nas killed that. Nas rapped so long the beat went off, and the acapella hits it, and Nas is just still going in. So honestly, a hotter take. I think Nas and Ludacris both have better verses than Jada. Even though Jada's verse is crazy, there's no bad verses here. It's an all-star game. But I don't think anybody saw Luda coming like that. Like, no one saw Luda. No one saw that. Like, no one saw Luda showing off like that. Like, Luda was cooking. He was skating on that beat. I don't think anybody saw that at all. And same with Nas. Not same with Nas, because Nas is known for his lyricism. But, like, those verses were incredible. But everyone remembers Jada's verse for that top 5 Dead or Alive that saw Well LP, which was a crazy line, obviously.
So I love your list. Great list. As I knew you were going to come prepared with it. Now my list is in order, and let's just get to it now because I don't want to mess up the tease. So let's just get to it.
All right.
My list is number 5. I'm So Hood, the remix with DJ Khaled, and everybody's on that.
Yeah.
Everybody's on that. That song came out while I was on senior week after high school. So that was everywhere I went, that song was on.
Yeah.
Number 4, Lean Back with Lil Jon and Eminem.
Yeah. That's a great one.
Love that song. What was that? I think it was 03, 04, something like that.
Maybe I don't. Yeah, it's not that the can's a pistol in my pants.
Yeah, I mean we're on the heels of the Eminem show when that came out, so I was all over that.
And seeing Eminem in that environment, like Eminem didn't do club bangers and stuff.
No.
You didn't hear Eminem in the club or hear Eminem on a track like that. So it was cool hearing. I mean, you had Mace on there and Eminem, like, and Fat Joe. Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah, Lil Jon.
Yeah.
Number 3, Savage, Megan Thee Stallion with Beyonce.
Yeah.
I mean it just deserves it. It's Beyonce in and of itself just deserves.
Yeah, Beyonce Knowles Carter is now one of my favorite rappers.
Yeah. Number 2, Out of Control, 50 Cent featuring Mobb Deep. That talk about it, a completely different song from the original to the remix.
Yep. And Dr. Dre on production.
Yes. And then number 1, as it made number 1 on your list, it also is made number 1 on my list.
Yeah.
Made You Look. And that is for all the exact same reasons you just said. I'm not even going to screw up your explanation of it by adding anything to it. Everything you said is the exact same reason why it ranks there for me.
Listen, man, I love your list. And that's why this makes it so hard. Because, like, there's so, like, I have literally back in the day when we used to all do, like, the mix CDs, I had CDs titled "This is the remix." I think I did 1 to like 10, and it was nothing but remix. I love a remix.
Yes,
I love a good remix. So like it's like this list is awesome, but yeah, it's hard to narrow it down to 5 because there's so many more choices.
I mean, like I could have probably done the top 20 if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, like for instance, "Touch It" remix. That I thought about putting that on here. That's another one of my favorite ones. Like he did so many different ones. But the one where he combined Mary J. Blige and Missy Elliott, DMX.
I really wanted to put the Rack City remix on here.
Ooh. Yeah.
With Fab and Meek. And I also thought about the what is it? UOENO remix with has everybody in the world on it too.
Oh, one of my kids' favorite remixes. Oh, let's do it. Diddy, Rick Ross, Waka Flocka, Gucci.
So, staying in the music realm, we had mentioned the top 5 feature artists that we were to make. So let's do the same thing. Run through your list real quick. If you have them in order, let me know. If you don't, that's fine. And then we'll go back and discuss each one individually.
Okay. So, again, no particular order. Money, Power, Respect featuring DMX. Renegade featuring Eminem.
Oh, so you went individual song features.
Yes.
Okay, I went feature artists.
Yeah. So I'm giving you the
Oh,
song.
I'm giving you the exact song for that.
giving
Okay, I'm saying just mine were just in general feature artists.
Like a feature artist, period.
Yes.
Oh, well, this is okay. Well, let me go through my list of
Yeah.
this.
Go through your list.
Versace remix with Drake.
Yes.
Run This Town, Kanye West.
Okay.
Monster, Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
Now, you ask me artists I want on a feature. I'm going Lil Wayne, Chris Brown, Eminem, Drake. Oh, who's 5? Oh, I mean, I'm gonna do 2 people as 5. Ye and Drake. I'm sorry, Ye and Jay. I meant Ye and Jay are my two. They're one person.
Yes. Okay, that's fair.
Feature artist.
Okay. So,
But I think number 1 on that is Wayne.
okay. So give me then your 5 feature then songs then.
So once again, I go Money, Power, Respect, DMX, that was DMX's 98, which we always talk about.
yes.
That verse is wild for a wild song. Whole song is wild. That verse is crazy. You got the Locks on there, Jada, Chic, Styles P. You know what that is. Little Kim on the hook, and DMX comes and makes you forget about all of them on his last verse, which is crazy. Renegade, Eminem, which is really for a lot of people, not myself or you, but for a lot of people, is Eminem's coming out party. For people really respecting him as a top tier lyricist. This is on Jay-Z's Blueprint, 2001 that came out. So Eminem, like we always talk about, kind of came in the hip hop game backwards, where he hit pop before he hit the hood.
Yes.
Or usually they hit the hood, then they hit pop, but he hit the pop and then he hit the hood. So Renegade was his kind of coming out to like the hood, where everyone's like, okay, this white boy's not playing. Then Versace remix with Drake, which we talked about on Monday a little bit, which is such a moment in time for hip hop and the shifting of Atlanta really taking over. And like that verse, like
Well,
I'll be honest with you.
That verse is one of my favorite lines of all time in a song. Where he's like, "This is a gated community. Please get the F off the property."
Yep. Yeah. I mean,
That song lives rent free in my mind.
I will tell you right now, I listened to his verse and I turn it off. I don't need to hear anything else after that. They shouldn't let that man go first. They cheated. He cheated going first.
You never let them go. You never let Eminem go first.
This is why I couldn't be a rapper, because like I'm too petty and mad. Because I was like, here's what's gonna happen. If I'm in a studio and Drake plays that, you can't be on the song no more. Put that on your own ish, homie. You can't be on the song no more. No, you playing too much. Unplug the Wi-Fi. We're going home for the night.
Well, at least in fairness, he was on the remix.
Right, but still, no. Like I can't.
Fair.
I can't have that. Just like battling. I could never be a battle rapper. You're not gonna be in my face telling me about myself this part of my face. Hands all doing this, all in my face, telling me how terrible I am. No, I don't want any of that. No. Run This Town. One of the few times I will say Jay-Z got outshined. One of them we just mentioned, Renegade. This one, Run This Town. Kanye's verse is absolutely flawless. Spazzed on this verse. And this was like prime Ye. This was 2010, Blueprint 3, 2009. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy getting ready to come out next year. Big time, big time. And then finally, the verse that really changed Nicki Minaj's career is Monster. I think that was her coming out party for a lot of people, that she can really, really rap. Like, she's not a gimmick, not just a pretty face. No, this girl can go. Like, you have Rick Ross on the intro, then you go to Kanye, who spazzed, then you go to Hove, who spazzed, and then Nicki comes through and out spazzes everybody, and just goes into another stratosphere. That was crazy. That was a moment. That was another moment where it was like, where were you when you first heard this? Because I was on. They were doing Kanye leading up to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, was doing the Good Fridays, and that was on a Good Friday mixtape. That was one of the first ones to come out. It was that, So Appalled. I can't think of one with Lloyd Banks, but I can't think of the name of the song there. But it was every Friday leading up to the release of My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. He released a song, and Monster was in that collection. And Monster was a monster. was an absolute monster, and everybody killed it. But Nikki OD'd. She went to a whole different planet on that. She was floating. Again, but I'm petty though. If I'm Kanye, I'm petty. No, Nikki, sorry. We had to cut you first. My bad. I can't have you on here doing that to me.
So, like I said, I went a little different. I chose just the 5 artists that I want. Yeah, and this is in order again, so 5-1.
Yeah.
Number 5, I'm going Big Snoop.
Yeah, Snoop's a nice smooth feature.
Number 4, I'm going Rihanna. If I need some female vocals, it starts and ends with her.
Rihanna's a vibe, definitely.
Number 3, Kanye West, for all the aforementioned reasons that you had said.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Drake, the same thing as all the aforementioned, and I don't think it's up for any debate who the number 1 position is on this. I mean, Jay-Z even says it in the song about mixtape Wheezy. He said it more than once.
Yeah.
So it's
and like still like up to date with it too.
And here's the thing: not only will Lil Wayne kill it with a feature, then he'll take your song and he'll remix it on his mixtape.
Right.
And it will be a better version than the one you put out.
You look at Wayne just recently on Certified Lover Boy. You Only Live Twice. I can't. I literally listen to that song probably every other day if I'm lucky, and like whenever I'm in the car, it's in my play queue coming up because his verse is insane. And the fact that he's still...
Don't forget about the verse he just dropped with Papoose a year ago.
Yep. Yeah. Not top. Yeah, absolutely. That was fun.
Yeah. Good little exercise, and then we can end the episode with me failing at this exercise.
Yeah, so let's get to it. Hockey or Naw. If you've been here, you know the rules. You should know the rules. Justin doesn't know movies. Justin doesn't know hockey. So we combine the two to see which one he knows less.
Let's get after it.
All right, I'm gonna help you out here again.
Okay.
I feel like after last week, you need to.
It was a rough showing, to say the least.
So I'm gonna help you out here. All right. All right. Mark Stone, hockey or no?
Oh, he's hockey.
I love the excitement on your face.
Oh, he's hockey. I know who he is.
Let's go. Alec Martinez, hockey or no? Come on, don't overthink it. What's that?
He play hockey?
He is hockey.
Yes.
Let's go with Brett Howden, hockey or no?
Brett Howden?
Yes.
Let's ride the streets. He play hockey?
Yes, sir. He does play hockey.
Oh, let's go.
You 3 for 3. Do you know, by the way, what those 3 have in common?
No.
Okay, I'll save that for the end then. Let's go with Humphrey Bogart, hockey or no?
What's his name?
Humphrey Bogart.
Does he play hockey?
No.
I have no idea who that is.
He's one of the most legendary actors in the history of mankind. Humphrey Bogart. What are you doing?
Hold on. What's his name? Humphrey?
No, Justin. Come on, bro. You gotta know.
I don't know who this man is.
I'm not even going B list for you. I'm going A list. Cary Grant, hockey or no?
Cary Grant? No.
He's not hockey. He's an actor. Good job. All right, let's go. Spencer Tracy, hockey or no?
What was it?
Spencer Tracy.
Hockey?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. All right, Matthew McConaughey, hockey or no?
Oh, no, he does not play hockey.
Okay, good. All right, good. That was a good list. So the hockey players I named are from your Las Vegas Knights.
I knew Matt Stone did.
Yeah.
Or Mark Stone, whatever his name. I knew that,
but I didn't know who the other two were. They must be new additions.
Hockey.
What's that?
Humphrey Bogart hockey. Look up Humphrey Bogart when you get off. You should know who Humphrey Bogart is.
Oh, I pulled it up right now. I'm looking at him. I have no idea who this man is. I have no clue who this guy is. I'm looking at him right now.
Who's man's? All right. Well, listen.
I'm my own man's.
Yeah.
Who's my man? Me.
This has been an excellent Wednesday edition of Brad Memory in the morning.
Oh yeah.
That's Friday with special guests Devin Caney and Tweety himself.
Real quick, I just got to shout out 2 people hitting some winning bets.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay. So first off, shout out to Ryan Rothstein, friend of the show, been on here.
Yeah.
Put $20 into a slot machine, hit for $2,200 on.
Okay, Ryan. Right in time for Christmas.
He said he rolled into the sports book to throw down a bet real quick on the Monday night game. Said, "Yo, F it, let me just hit the slot machine real quick." $2,200.
Bro, that's awesome. That's good. That's good.
And then shout out to the Mooney Gang again. Kenny from the Mooney Gang. On the Chicago Packers game, he cleared $48K on a same game parlay. And yeah, on the same game parlay of $48K, and then he turned around and hit a $19K same game parlay on the Cardinals Rams game.
This man has cleared 67,000 in like 2 days. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Wow. Good for him.
Shout out to Kenny and the Mooney Gang. And I tailed him. Now I didn't win that much money. I'm not even wearing sunglasses.
How much did he put down? What, like 400 or 500?
The 48 grand one he put down 200, I believe.
Okay.
And the other one I think he put down 275.
Okay.
But I don't remember the $19,000 one, but I know that it was 200 for the 48K.
Yeah, that's good money.
I texted him and I was like, "Yo, I tailed you." He was like, "My man." I was like, "I didn't win that much, but it was good."
Well, slot some of these over this way because I'm hurting. I'm in a 2-month slump. I haven't won since early October. I don't know what's happening. I'm in a major slump. So
I'm on a 3-week win streak. Shout out to Marty. Shout out to the Mooney Gang. See, here's the only problem is that when I get the info to send pics to you, you're usually still asleep on the weekends. So, and I'm like, I definitely don't want to wake this man up on a Sunday. So
my phone will go off. I'll see it when I wake up. I'll see it. I'll get to it.
All right, we'll get it.
Let me know what's going on.
Oh, listen. So I'm leaving your place for this weekend for the party.
Yeah.
Going to do the show, so that way when you get up after the party, you'll have the pics ready to go.
Love it. Love to see it.
Backing on it. Let's make this a 4-week road trip or a 4-week win streak. I said to him last week, I said, "Listen, you got me on a 3-game or a 3-day win streak. Let's keep it going." And he looked at me and goes, "Is this your way of saying I better not F this week up?" And I was like, "It absolutely is." And he came through, boom, 4-0 last week again. Let's keep it rolling, Marcus. Let's make some money.
Let's do it. Mark's be tweeting everywhere.
At Justin and Michelle on the Bluebird app.
Brad Memory Pod everywhere. BradMemoryShow.com for the merch. 10% off the code using Bremy Beef Jerky Outlet Langhorne.
Use promo code BREMY10 at checkout for 10% off your first in-app order from any of the District Taco locations.
You can be with us, you can be against us, but you're never going to stop us late.